In the year 678, an enemy fleet closed in on the greatest city in the world, certain of an easy victory. Instead, the sea itself seemed to catch fire. Ships burned from the waterline up, and the flames would not go out, not even when sailors dumped water directly on them. Some accounts say water only made it burn hotter. This was Greek fire, the secret weapon of the Byzantine Empire, and it saved the city of Constantinople not once, but repeatedly for centuries. Today, over 1,000 years later, no one alive knows exactly what it was made of. This is the story of a weapon guarded so fiercely that its secret died with the empire that made it. By the 670s, the Byzantine Empire, the surviving eastern half of Rome, was under siege. Arab fleets had been pressing toward Constantinople for years, and the city's fall looked, to many, like only a matter of time. According to the Byzantine chronicler Theophanes, it was around this time that a refugee engineer named Callinicus, fleeing a city recently captured by Arab forces, arrived with a new weapon. A liquid fire that could be projected from ships using a mounted tube called a siphon, essentially the world's first flamethrower, mounted on the front of a warship. The Byzantine Navy mounted these siphons on their swift warships, called dromons, and unleashed the weapon on the besieging fleet. The effect was devastating, and psychological as much as physical. Enemy sailors watched flames spread across open water, chasing their ships, impossible to escape by simply steering away. The siege broke, Constantinople held, and the empire had found a weapon that would define its naval power for the next several centuries. What made Greek fire so frightening was not just that it burned. Ordinary fire arrows and burning pitch had existed for a long time before this. It was that Greek fire reportedly kept burning on the surface of water, and by some accounts, contact with water made it flare up even more violently, rather than putting it out. For sailors whose only defense against fire was normally the ocean itself, this took away their last line of defense entirely. So what was actually in it? Here, historians have to be honest. We do not know for certain, and that is not for lack of trying. The Byzantine state treated the formula as one of its most closely guarded secrets, on the level of a modern nuclear weapons program. It was reportedly known to only a handful of people at any given time. Emperor Constantine VII, writing centuries later, warned his own son never to reveal the formula to foreigners under any circumstances, calling it a secret entrusted to the Byzantines by an angel. That framing was almost certainly political theater, meant to justify why the recipe could never be shared, even with allies. But it shows just how seriously the empire treated the secrecy. Modern historians and chemists have proposed likely ingredients based on ancient descriptions: crude petroleum, likely sourced from natural seeps around the Black Sea, combined with resin, sulfur, and possibly quicklime. Quicklime is genuinely interesting here because it reacts with water and releases heat, which could help explain reports of the fire flaring up on contact with the sea. But this remains an educated guess, not a confirmed formula. No surviving Byzantine document actually spells out the full recipe. Every ancient source that mentions Greek fire describes its effects in vivid detail and stays completely silent on exactly how it was made. That secrecy worked almost too well. As the Byzantine Empire weakened over the centuries, the small circle of people who knew the true formula eventually died out, and the knowledge was lost even to the Byzantines themselves. By the time Constantinople finally fell to the Ottomans in 1453, Greek fire had not been used in battle for generations. The weapon that once saved the city could not save it in the end. For hundreds of years before that, though, Greek fire gave the Byzantine navy an edge that outside enemies simply could not counter, because they did not know what they were dealing with, let alone how to make it themselves. It repelled multiple Arab sieges of Constantinople, crushed rebel fleets during civil wars, and became so associated with Byzantine power that the very phrase Greek fire entered languages across Europe and the Middle East as shorthand for an unstoppable weapon. Other cultures tried to copy it. Chroniclers describe attempts by various rivals to replicate the weapon, and later medieval Europe developed its own incendiary formulas, loosely inspired by what they had seen. None matched the original. This raises the real, still open question that historians continue to debate. Was Greek fire actually one single fixed formula the whole time, or did the recipe quietly change and evolve across the centuries it was in use? Some scholars argue the descriptions across different eras are inconsistent enough that the Byzantines were likely adapting the mixture over time, using whatever ingredients and refinements were available, rather than guarding one unchanging secret. We may genuinely never resolve this. Unlike a lost city or a buried artifact, there is no physical Greek fire sample waiting to be excavated. The weapon only exists now as description, effect, and legend. Modern attempts to recreate Greek fire, using various petroleum and quicklime combinations, have managed to produce genuinely frightening incendiary mixtures. But none has been proven to match the specific water-resistant flare-on-contact behavior described in the original accounts. So Greek fire remains one of the rare cases in military history where we know a weapon changed the outcome of real battles, changed the fate of a real empire, and we simply cannot tell you, with certainty, what was inside the tube. That is a strange kind of power for a piece of ancient technology to still hold. Even now, it keeps its secret. What do you think was really in the tube? Drop your theory in the comments. We read everyone. Subscribe, because next episode we are looking at a tiny piece of ground glass found in the ruins of an ancient Assyrian palace that some researchers believe may be one of the oldest optical lenses ever made.